Welcome to Community Conversations. I'm Frederick County Executive Jan Gardner, and I'm very excited today to have as my guest Katie Albaugh, who is our new Agricultural Business Development Specialist working in our Office of Economic Development. Welcome, Katie.
Thanks, Jan. I'm glad to be here.
Well, we're happy to have you on board. So maybe you can start off by telling people a little bit about yourself, your background, your interests. I know you have had some exciting things happen to you personally in the last month or so.
Yeah, I grew up on a dairy farm right outside of Walkersville. I've been involved in agriculture ever since I was a kid. I think that's where I got my passion and love for this industry. We still raise heifers and do a lot of showing on the national level, which, as you were talking about, we just competed at the World Dairy Expo, and my calf actually won her class out there, so that was very exciting. That's a big thing in the dairy industry. And we still crop farm and just very involved in agriculture my whole life.
Well, we're very excited to have you on board, and I'm glad you could, as one of the first things you could do is go out and win and show Frederick County off to everybody in the agricultural industry. We really appreciate that as a side benefit. So, and you know, I noticed on your resume that you worked as a herd manager. Mm-hmm. So you want to tell me what that is?
So I used to work for the University of Maryland as an assistant herdsman. And so I actually helped manage the farm, manage the cows. We milked about 70 cows that were used for research purposes and also for milk production. And we also raised about 100 heifers. So I helped manage the cows on every aspect. I milked, I fed, managed the people and the students. We had a lot of students that worked for us over the period of time that I was there. A lot of kids that didn't know anything about agriculture, and that was really rewarding to kind of teach them about what we were doing in this industry and in agriculture in general. And I also helped with breeding, taking care of sick animals, anything that needed done on the farm, I was in charge of.
Okay, so it was hands-on.
Yeah, it was very hands-on.
Hands-on,
yep.
Very good. So now you have a little bit different job here working for Frederick County Government in the Office of Economic Development. So why don't you share with our viewers a little bit about what your job entails?
So as an ag business specialist, I help farmers with any problem that comes about, help them with zoning or planning issues that they need help with to work through that process. We help on the marketing side, trying to get people out to the farms and see what people are doing. It's a very exciting time for agriculture in our county. People are very committed to buying local, and we have a lot of farms that can produce that food for them and allow this to happen. I also help with the retention and attraction of new businesses with the economic development side of things, but I serve as an ag liaison for the county.
Okay, we do have an Agricultural Business Council, and
yes,
you'll work with them. So, you know, a lot of people think of agricultural, you know, they drive by, they look at it, but they don't really understand that agriculture is a business. Mm-hmm. And that it changes, and that the farm community and people who've been in farming for generations have to change to adjust to that. So can you talk about some of the new things that are happening in the agricultural community?
Yeah, farming's definitely diversifying. We have more wineries, breweries, distilleries coming. That's getting to be a really big industry here in Frederick County as part of agriculture. The locally grown food, organic, we have a lot of farmers changing to this and producing food that they can sell at farmers markets or CSAs. That's a big push from our public. They want food that's produced right here in Frederick County, and I think that's very exciting for our farmers.
I think it is too, but people do have to have some help. You know, we do have to adjust our zoning laws so that we can allow the new things that farmers need to be allowed to do so that their farm can be economically viable. And adjust as the time changes. And we really have to support that if we want to keep agriculture in our community.
Yeah, that's one of the things we're working with zoning and how can we make this an easier process.
Now you mentioned farmers markets and CSAs. Now not everybody knows what a CSA is, so why don't you talk a little bit about what a CSA is?
A CSA allows for people to pay a certain amount of money to come and get locally produced food directly at that farmer's location. Many of our farms here in Frederick County have it, and you can find it in the Homegrown Here, Frederick, our new magazine that you can find in there, the locally produced, locally grown CSAs that we have here in Frederick County that are operating right now. So you come out every week to the farm for a designated time period, and you get your locally produced food.
So you can pick up a box of whatever may be fresh at that point in time. So I know that they all operate a little bit differently. but people can sign up through our webpage,
Yep.
and that'll be one way for them to connect. Now, farmers markets is another way, and there's really many
There's
farmers markets in Frederick
16
County.
farmers markets here in Frederick County now.
So what do we do to help support and market the farmers markets?
Right now, we're still working on improving everything, but we're working on marketing them, helping to get the word out. And if they need help, getting connected with farmers, we can provide that service and helping them connect with local farmers, since we have a lot of database of people here in Frederick County that are producing the food.
Okay. Now, there's a lot of events and activities that we have in the farm community. Some farms, host their own. Others are coordinated through the county. So can you talk about some of the activities and events that are happening this fall?
It's a busy time of year for just different people. We have harvest going on. We have pumpkin patches, pick your owns, you name it, we have it going on.
Of course, as the seasons change, there's even more opportunities because there's opportunities to cut your own Christmas tree.
So we're coming into the Christmas tree season. We have a lot of farmers here in Frederick County that offer cut your own Christmas trees. So if you can support them, that's always a great thing for agriculture here in the county. Going into the spring, it's a big time for planting season for a lot of our traditional farmers.
And so pretty much every season there's something to do on the farm.
Yeah, there's always exciting things on the farm happening.
So what do you see as some of the challenges and opportunities in the industry, and how do you see your role in helping to affect change?
I think a big opportunity is to buy local. People want food that's produced here in the county. They want to know their farmers, and it's how can we get them out and get them to know our farmers. People take great pride in getting to know where their food's actually produced and know it's produced in a safe way, and that's what we can provide here in Frederick County. Some of the challenges, as we change generations, it's a hard process for farmers. Our farmers are getting older, but how can we make the younger generation come back? So it's about education of the next generation to get them back at the farm, in my opinion. And then also helping with the zoning and planning and permitting process. How can we make that an easier process for farmers to go through when they're going to diversify?
Now, you're in that younger generation, and you're obviously committed to agriculture. Yes. So do you see spending your whole career in agriculture?
Yes, for sure.
So how did you stay interested in, what can we do to support that next generation staying involved in agriculture? Because like with every industry, we have to worry about that workforce coming forward, and you're the workforce.
Well, growing up on the farm, definitely helped. My parents instilled in me a lot of love for this industry. I got it naturally, I'd say, from my dad. But being involved in 4-H and FFA over the years, it really helped. The people you meet, they make an impact on your life, and you want to go and provide that for other people. I think if we can get people in 4-H and FFA and promote these industries and promote at the fair agriculture, because especially when I was at the university, I saw a lot of kids that never knew about agriculture, but after their time spent at the farm, they decided, maybe I do need to change career paths. I think I want to go into something with agriculture, and that's exciting to me. I think we need to educate and get people out to the farms and see what's going on, because, with this organic and the more CSA-driven and the locally grown food, people are really getting into that. We're meeting a lot of young farmers that want to do this. They want to start in their backyard and grow and continue to expand.
Well, one of the interesting exercises that the Washington Metropolitan Council of Governments did years ago, which I'd love to see happen again, is they had an event at the Frederick Fairgrounds, and they did an analysis of what people in our community eat, and where it comes from, and whether we could sustain ourselves. And even though we have orchards in our county and we have dairy, we still did not produce enough of even those items to sustain our own population. So it's a really interesting exercise to look at it in your own county and then regionally. And so people can know where their food comes from. And I do think that is one of our biggest opportunities because people want to have fresh meat, they want to have fresh produce and vegetables and fruit for their families, and they want to stay healthy. And of course, it tastes better.
Yes. And also a big thing is, preserving our land, working with Ann Bradley here in the county. How can we preserve our farmland for the future generation? Keep it in agriculture so that the future next generation can continue to live off the land. I think that's a big opportunity for us.
Well, to get more young people involved in 4-H and FFA, that requires a commitment from our schools as well. So I think that's an interesting link to try to encourage. Because one of the things I've notice from dealing with students in our high schools who have been in either one of those programs, and often they're in both, is that they learn great public speaking skills, a great ability to communicate, and that serves them well no matter what they do.
Yeah, I agree with that. When I started FFA, I really hated public speaking, but 4 years in, by the time I graduated high school, it was a completely different thing. You know, you really learn to come out of your boundaries and try something new. I think that's great.
Well, we're excited to have you on board. I feel very confident that you'll do great things. I know you're really well known in the agricultural community. When we announced your appointment, my Facebook lit up because people were so excited, not to just have the position restored, but to have you in it. So,
thank you.
You know, you're really well connected, your family's well connected and respected in our community, and we're really excited to have you on board. So if people are interested in finding out what's happening in agriculture, or there is somebody out there working in the industry who needs help, how can they get a hold of you?
You can contact me. You can call, email, anything. You can contact me in any form. Check out our website, discoverfrederickmd.com, and find my contact info there. Feel free to contact me. I'm always available to help and assist the farmers.
Well, we're very excited to have you on board. Thank you for joining us for this edition of Community Conversations. Join me in welcoming Katie Albal to the Frederick County family. She's here to support our agricultural community, and if you need assistance, give her a call. Thank you for joining us.